I'm sure everyone in chat is very excited to hear about it. Not like it's come up on other shows several times, just that, we were waiting for it to come out on the old streaming, that's all. Give it a big old watch-see. So, yes, I believe, Platoon, you've constructed something for us.
Yeah, so, because like a lot of people, I had no familiarity with Stuckmann's older work, and in fact, like the only time I'd ever really come across him was when we were covering him here. So it was an interesting little deep dive. Went right back to the beginning, tried to figure out, what did this guy used to have, but did he used to be good? Because he's got lots of subscribers, and that kind of entails that once upon a time people saw something in him, and it can't just be that there was nobody else available to watch. So there's a little short sort of video that takes you through the passage of time with Chris Stuckmann. We've got like a little juxtaposition of the old and the new styles. There's a comparison between one of his, I think it's his first Hilariosity video, and then one of his more recent offerings. And the general thing I'm aiming for here is just know, A, how much more enjoyable he used to be, B, how much more he used to say, even in videos that were only made for fun, and then C, what the fuck went wrong. Basically, is the general narrative drift that we're going for. And then, of course, that takes us up to the present day where he doesn't do film criticism anymore, but we'll come to that over the course of the video.
Well, then, I'm excited. Have you got the link? Or, wait, actually, I can't move the screen. If you post it, we can get it to the watch together. No problem.
Hold on a second. There it is. You can tell this is going to go wrong.
Watch together videos.
I think we checked out
watch together.
One of them at some point, like really early EFAP. We let one play. I think I could have sworn it was like a cat one or something.
Cats vs. Dogs is the one that's the defaulting for me.
And there's the llama, right?
Caminandes, yeah. Then there's Big Buck Bunny.
I remember Big Buck Bunny, yeah. Kind of a mainstay. But this lady has seemed to have taken over the screen for Watch Together for some time now.
I guess.
But why isn't it cat dog rather than cats versus dog? Why can't they work together?
Well, I mean,
and then have their little theme song. Cat dog, cat dog.
That's the story they want to tell. So
Yeah, sure. But I'm just asking. That's all.
Maybe they made that one too. Who knows?
Predator.
Ah. Okay, hang on. A bit laggy for me. I'm trying to figure out if something's wrong with me.
It might be slightly laggy at the beginning of the first couple of seconds, or it might be a little bit laggy of this video, but it should speed up. I think that was a problem with my the way I've captured this video.
No problemo. Just on my computer
is just
down
like
a little
that.
bit. There's a laggy
This
guy.
is also true. Yeah.
It's like how Bigfoot is just blurry. I'm convinced at this point. I think Chrisman.
Why is he always
Chrisman?
Why is he always blurry though?
Bigfoot? I don't know.
Yeah, why?
It's a species, right?
Why has there never been just a picture where he's nice and clear and he's like, "Hello"?
I think because he's just blurry. He's just a blurry guy.
Yeah, it would be a part of the species.
Explains everything.
Like he is like if you saw him out in the wild, he would have like a blur emanating from him that would conceal his true visage. I don't know about that.
Natural defense would have built up over time.
You're too fast. I don't imagine him being like too slow, but not.
He's like Sonic.
Fast.
He uses the portal spinal keys to teleport.
All right. Well, here we go then. As was introduced by Platoon, the adventure begins.
Badlands is directed by Dan Trachtenberg and is the third film in the Predator universe he's made after Prey and Killer of Killers. He has no energy to him. He's completely dull and lifeless. Here, a young Predator outcast from his clan finds an unlikely ally on his journey in search of the ultimate adversary.
Fuck! There'd be no difference between his summary paragraph and just one that he pulled from one of the 17.
Is that where he reads them from? I wonder that sometimes.
Well, you might as well.
Yes.
There's no distinction.
No, I mean he probably remembered Truth, Justice, and the Human Way. That was the one in the Superman one. I figure he probably came up with that one. Or decided to put it in anyway. You know what I mean?
He probably
there's
read
some amount
someone
of
else had come up
creativity.
with it, was the thing. And then like he remembered
sure.
hearing someone else say it, and then he put it in the video. But it's like you don't get the sense with any of these, and this will become way clearer as like we do a couple of these videos in full. Once upon a time, he did watch movies, and he did have thoughts about movies as he watched them. He probably wrote them down as he was watching them, and then he delivered those with passion. The modern Stuckmann format is not. It is just like there's this very, very stuck Stuckmann formula, which is just like you get basically half a blurb's worth of the vaguest information possible, and that's really all you're going to get. You might get a bit of trivia if you're lucky, but nothing you can't read on IMDb.
Well, it borders into marketing.
And then he'll tell you. It kind of does. There is a bit of that coming up, actually, which is like, it's in the Predator Badlands video where he decides to use that video instead to market somebody else's movie, which is just great.
Finds an unlikely ally on his journey in search of the ultimate adversary. Fuck you, I'm jumping off this cliff! Along with this film, I'm also really excited about a new movie called Keeper, which is directed...
You can tell. You're
Really
brimming with
really
excitement.
excited.
This is my favorite part.
And he's so excited that he's going to, this is going to be, I kind of left this in here because it's kind of interesting how much of the video, obviously, he spends not talking about Predator Badlands, because he can only praise things, so he has to talk about the things.
Right,
but even the movie he's really, 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 really excited for, all he's going to do here is just say, this is coming out, here's what people have said about it. I saw a bit of it, it's cool.
My favorite one in his videos is when he mentions the very controversial thing that's happening with the film, be it there's some kind of political or social thing, or that there was a controversy or a big event. He'll say the thing happened, and then he'll say many people have like perspectives on this, and then he'll move on. You just be like, okay, it's even less information than a sort of a robot assessing the events would give. It's like he wants to make sure he mentions it because it would be weird if he didn't, but then he doesn't say anything about it oftentimes.
Directed by Osgood Perkins and is coming out nationwide November 14th. Filmmaker...
Do you know nationwide? You know DVDs
what is
still
going
sell
on
more than
here?
Blu-rays.
What's this? What's like? What this tone is weird.
I mean, it is his tone, right? Now, anyway, in the modern.
I guess, but it's just like it almost feels like an ad.
Yes,
It is an
like,
ad.
oh, yeah.
Also, of all the creators, he's got to be the easiest one to have been AI replicated, right? Like, it's so straightforward.
He's up there.
Well, because
There's
AI
our
often struggles
crazy-
to capture sort of tone and intonation. And so if you don't have either of those things, then it's really useful.
Really
Keeper. James Wan says it's a terrifying, ghostly descent into madness. Guillermo del Toro says Keeper...
What do you say?
This
What do you
They
say?
say.
So this
Here's
is
what other
just
people say about it.
okay. So this is an outright ad. This is like an actual advertisement in the middle of a Predator Badlands video.
It has been positively received by several humans.
Has he ever done this before? Put an ad for another movie in a review of a movie that he's doing.
I wouldn't want to say he's never done it before, but I did watch a fair few of his videos, recent videos. I didn't see another one where he's done this.
I've
Isn't
never
to say
seen.
he's
Yeah,
never done it, but
I've never seen it before. But that I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
Oh, he's trying to support filmmakers. You got a problem with that? You hate supporting filmmakers?
I don't know, man. Feels like movie critic doing an ad for any movie is a bit not great.
No, you gotta be careful, yeah.
It's Pure Perkins, horror origami that skillfully folds into itself, and Damian Leone says Perkins further establishes himself as a formidable
The other guy said another thing.
voice in horror. From Osgood Perkins, the director of Longlegs and The Monkey, comes a new breed of nightmare. So don't miss the horror event of the season. Keeper opens in theaters nationwide November 4th.
I will say this was so confusing because when I saw he'd made a Predator Badlands review, I thought he'd fucked up and said, from Osgood Perkins, the director. I was like, no. And it was like, oh no, wait, sorry, that's he's like advertising something else, I see.
14th. I was lucky enough to see about 30 minutes of this film, and I agree with everything those filmmakers said. It's a very tense,
Still feel that way because that film got reviewed pretty badly.
He just doesn't sound like he believes these things.
No, I know. I'm just curious though because the film came out and didn't get reviewed particularly well.
There
Has he done a
may be
review on it?
There may be some punch to the whole pod person theory. I'm just saying.
suspenseful and scary movie, and it opens nationwide November 14th. Mr. President, thanks. Captain America.
So here we go. This is so going into now like a little bit more of a comparison between his old and his new styles. Obviously, we've just seen how much he really enjoys talking about the really good movies that release, so much so that he doesn't talk about them. This is from it's one of his really early Hilariosity videos, not the first one, because we'll see that one in a little bit of time. This is Captain America 1990, which he really hates, and he has a lot of fun really hating it, but I've kind of included a bunch of clips from it. It's not the full video, to show you how much more he says while criticizing only in the name of having fun than he will say when he's going to go on to talk about something he genuinely likes later. Because it's kind of interesting. Like he's not, I don't think it's never been a good critic in the sense that like, quite a lot of his observations, even in this video section, are fairly boilerplate, but like he's at least telling you something about this film and why it doesn't work.
Oh yeah, to know that he's putting into words things that he feels. That's like, yes, that's good job. You've entered the realm of talking. It's just that he's not quite made it into that realm in the modern videos very often.
This version. But let's go back to the incredible lack of action. This movie really is like an elongated TV soap opera with a couple random, horribly filmed action sequences with absurd multiple cuts. I mean, I thought quick cutting today was a problem. Look at this shit.
Jesus.
Wow.
Also, it's just, it feels weird to hear some spice from him. It's been a while, you know, but it was an old video,
does.
but still.
And having an opinion.
He's got an opinion and he's got an emotion, and he delivers both of these things. And
It's
now
cool.
I did shorten this little section here, but like I didn't do any of the cuts. I just cut some of the cuts out of the cuts, but like, it goes on for a fucking long time. I'd never seen the 1990 Captain America, and now I almost want to. Like he tells me I shouldn't.
Oh my god. Holy shit.
Being strategic with pausing just in case, and besides, everyone can enjoy
In case some
the
company
cuts.
wants to claim credit for this film.
They need more cuts.
Oh my god. It's
We
like,
get two-gun
it's like
noises.
in Winter Soldier when he's got the shield and the machine gun guy. It's just like that.
Yeah, that's probably a reference.
Oh my, yeah, he is. He's doing a role. He's doing a better job of covering.
I was going to say, this is
himself.
harder to hit him, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be really annoyed if I was this guy.
It's real tough to get him with that vibranium shield.
It's the cheapest way of filming an action scene. Let's get the guy to do this role, but oh shit, the stunt guy, it's kind of dangerous. We don't really have that budget. We'll just have him do like 7 different takes, and that'll work, right? That's how you make a movie, right? For an absurdly long portion of this movie, the biggest action sequence that happens is he breaks through the wall of a woman's restroom. And then when a sequence finally does break out, it's almost entirely in the dark and you can't even see what's going on.
My God.
The thing that I thought was semi-interesting is that like, in these old videos, obviously it's one thing just to point out this is obviously shit. Like this number of cuts is really obviously shit. It looks appalling, and that would be the easiest and cheapest way to make a video like the ones he used to make, right? You just say you play a very funny clip, it speaks for itself. You kind of let it speak for itself. You add a little bit of content, which is really just you saying, "Oh, that's shit," and then you move on. But old Stuckmann did actually used to do a little bit more than that, because he's talking not just about like this is obviously shit. He's also saying maybe this is why the director did it. It's like this is the motive behind it. This was why the creative decision was made. And again, it's nothing particularly deep or anything that no one else could have come up with. But he actually did sort of bother to say something.
No, I guess.
Yeah, the videos would have been entertaining, right?
It's it's fairly banal observations, but he's kind of into it, which helps.
Yes, it does.
But I also like the way that Trachtenberg subverts those expectations by putting him on this planet and
Dude, you can hear it in the voice. It is crazy, the difference.
You can see it in the
It goes from over to
This happens so often, doesn't it? When, like, I mean, he's a creator, sure, so we can bottle him in, like, when creators get older and lamer.
lamer.
Yeah, a little bit. Like Ridley Scott, It's just like, damn. Like, you know, you got lame. James Cameron, you got lame. You want to make lame movies now.
what he's here to do. This is his goal. And then along the way, he learns things about himself as well as Elle Fanning's synthetic character that gives him some new goals and some new opportunities that takes the story in exciting directions.
Well, he doesn't tell you her name, and I don't know that that's necessarily because he doesn't know it. I think it's just because he is so committed to saying nothing. He can't really give you that. Because the reason I chose that clip to sort of juxtapose with the previous one is that was a fair amount of words he just used. And what did he actually... He said he goes to planet with some feelings, and on the planet, he discovers things that change his feelings. And I like that.
Riveting.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I like to have fun in my reviews and I act angry, and I am angry, but right now I swear to you, this film pissed me off. It's so terrible. I mean, there's nothing redeeming about it. Captain America is a lifeless, uncharismatic...
Oh my god. It just, replace Captain America with... Chris Stuckmann is a lifeless. You're like, oh no.
Dull, bland idiot. Red Skull...
There's so many more expressions. He keeps himself stone-faced in the new versions.
Looks like a bloody turd. The romance is boring. It's a soap opera. The action's terrible. This
is insane. He's making several points per, several seconds. I've never seen this before. It's just insane.
Oh, bad. Never watch it. Ever. The action is exciting. It's fast-paced. It still feels like a proper Predator movie.
The action is fast-paced and exciting. Dude.
It's exciting.
It's an exciting...
I was on the edge of my seat.
Even
though very riveting. Dan Trachtenberg did an amazing job, and I'm giving this film I don't know if he gives them ratings. He doesn't. I don't.
Probably not, because that's
I
mean.
guess that's also part of.
I think he does still. I think Predator Badlands he gives an A. I want to say I think it's at the end of this clip actually, but he does still give some movies ratings.
Wait, an A out of Alphabet?
It must be some of them.
Out of 10.
He definitely didn't give Superman a rating.
Did he not?
I distinctly remember.
Maybe he doesn't do it all the time.
He didn't give it. He didn't give it like a number or like an A+ or like a B- or anything. He didn't.
Surely,
he didn't rate it.
Is it not against the philosophy of being giving any rating now?
I assume it would be, right, because he shouldn't be trying to place any of these movies on a hierarchy. The unfortunate problem is it's inevitable that you will, like he did in the Superman video, where he does say it's not as good as the Donner Superman. Like it's inevitable when you talk about movies that you're going to reveal the hierarchy of your preferences. There's nothing to be done about it because there's nothing wrong with it. Like it's just essential to being a critic.
There's a bit later where he says that he hasn't recently done any negative. Well, he hasn't reviewed any movie that he would have given less than a B-. I think is his rule. So you can sort of imply that all movies he covers are above a B-.
So I hope he covers that movie that he did the ad for. Otherwise, we'll know that he actually didn't think it was very good at all.
Also, someone has asked, so which is better then, the Stuckmann robot or the high-top hyper emotion? And for me, it's just, I kind of need to go back and forth before I have too much of one or the other. Like you overdose.
I don't rate one of them better than the other, because both of them effectively are insincere. Which is kind of like the big problem with them.
Yeah.
It's just that obviously the Stuckmann one's a little bit more transparently insincere, because when you hear somebody doing emotional inflections, your brain just assumes like, yeah, I mean, I guess this is kind of like real or something. Maybe it's a little bit exaggerated, but it's real. It's like, I don't know about that. Yeah, I mean, I don't like either format.
Yeah.
On who is our antagonist. Trachtenberg is clearly very, very good in this world. I would love to see him do something else because he's made...
I did almost just cut it there because I like that as a statement. He's so good at this, I just want to see him do something else. It's like he's spent too long in Predator, and, it's almost an implicit criticism to say that a good director who is a good director should be spending too much time in Predator, because the implicit thing you take from that is that it's limiting him in some way, which implies that maybe you didn't think that highly of the movie. But he does go on.
I thought he was saying he'd like to see him do something different with Predator.
No, he's saying he'd like to do something other than Predator, but he is also very happy. I'll let him say it himself. He's also happy if he just makes more Predator.
Yes, we've got 3 Trachtenberg Predator films now.
We do.
At this point, yeah.
made 3 Predator movies, and I love his way of making films, 10 Cloverfield Lane as well. But if he just wants to make Predator movies for the rest of his life, I'll watch all of them, because I am really glad this franchise is in someone's hands that's capable of making a really good Predator movie, because I feel like my whole
Not making
life
money, though.
I've loved Predator and very much so enjoyed Predator 2, and I've just kind of been waiting around for like more great Predator stuff, and we are now, thanks to Tracking.
Careful, dude.
Yeah, that's almost saying that the last 4 Predator movies were shit.
Yeah, how could we not have
careful.
like, you just shat on Predators, AVP 2, and the Predator, obviously.
Yes, that's right.
Join the rest of the world in being okay with doing that. It's okay, you can do it.
In a good time. Guys, thank you so much, as always, for watching another Hilariosity. I'll have more retro rewinds and Hilariosity.
Every time you cut to this era, it's like a jolt happens. It's like, whoa, or even faster, just generally, like, speaking.
It's faster, it's more engaged and engaging, and I can see, I probably would have put him on in this era as at least background entertainment every now and then, or if he was covering something that I was interested in, or if I knew that was going to be kind of funny, because like he can tell jokes and he makes assertions, and he seems enthused, and I like that. It's nice to know that the creator that's giving me a video kind of gives a shit about the video they're giving me, which you don't get the sense of from anything he's done ever in the last several years.
Very soon. You guys are the best, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized. So definitely check this one out, guys. It's a really good time, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.
When like
one of those sounds like he's reading the script, and one of them sounds like it could have just been off the cuff. Like there's more of an oomph behind the get Stuckmanized even.
It's just the thing he says now. And it was always the thing he says, but it seems like he was more into it before. It's like, yeah,
he really wanted us to get Stuckmanized. Nowadays, it feels more like an obligation.
Whatever that means.
I did not hit her.
So yes.
It's not true.
Now we're going on to, this is his first Hilariosity review. So this is a really, really, really old video.
See, this is passion right here.
It is passion. There's a whole skit. It's on The Room, and he does a skit for it. He used to do those.
Ooh, it's bullshit. Ooh, it's bullshit. I did not hit her.
Love the wig.
I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Hey, Johnny, what's up? I have a problem with Lisa. She says that I hit her. What? Well, did you? No, it's not true. Don't even ask. What's new with you? Well, I'm just sitting up here thinking, you know. I got a question for you. Yeah. You think girls like to cheat like guys do? What makes you say that? I don't know. I'm just thinking. I don't have to worry about that because Lisa's loyal to me. Yeah, man, you never know. People are very strange these days. I used to know a girl, she had a dozen guys. One of them found out about it, beat her up so bad she ended up in a hospital on Guerrero Street. What a story, Mark.
It's a pretty good recreation, honestly. Not
It showed
bad.
that he knew about the movie and the scene and had all the little things in there.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa! Welcome to my review for The Room.
This is even further back now than the example where he was energized, right?
Yeah, this is, I think this is 12 years old, is this video.
My God.
It is the first of the Hilariosities. It's when he was young and vibrant and full of passion.
He was filming in his room still. He's
This
got his
is the
robe-
old,
Ooh,
yeah. This is the old background, because then they
Much
moved to the
more
new background.
homely versus
Well, this feels
his
more
slicker.
real, doesn't it? The
Yeah.
other one is
That's
like
real.
a set, kind of. The other one feels like it's more of a set,
Which it
very
probably
much
is now.
designed.
It's probably filled with a bunch of
Yeah.
shit that never moves. Or
Oh yeah,
rather,
it's probably like a dedicated room just
Yeah,
for
yeah.
it, compared to this, where it's like it feels like you've set up a camera just in like your office or just somewhere where you actually exist and live in.
Room, one of my most requested reviews I have ever had in my entire life. My very first Hilariosity review is for The Room, one of the best there ever was. The Room is one of the most fascinating movies I have ever seen in my life because as you watch the film, you are consistently wondering, how in the world did this happen?
And that's kind of an interesting statement itself. You know, it's this idea that you can watch something that is so terrible and you can find it absolutely fascinating, and it provokes a lot of questions. And like, he'll go on to give us information about The Room and what works or doesn't work more often than not about The Room. it's this notion that if you are interested in your subject, you are interested in your subject. You're not just interested in it because you want to boost the reputation of filmmaking. You can actually find that there's a bit more to say about something that's notoriously terrible than about something which is just averagely good, which he goes on to do in this video that we're watching here. And then obviously we'll come on to an example of him not doing that.
If you do some research on the movie, you find that Tommy Wiseau, the star, the director, the writer, this is the guy that financed the entire movie as well as having to replace his...
Do you see how he would have searched something, found information, and he's going to provide it, but he's like managed to incorporate it into the way that you would speak to a person, as opposed to modern Stuckmann, where he does just read a factoid. It's not even a factoid, it's more so just basic knowledge on the creation of a film. Like this was him being like, do you know this thing about this movie that kind of tells you more about it in this way, versus directed by Tommy Wiseau?
The writer. This is the guy that financed the entire movie as well as having to replace his entire production crew halfway through the movie and get an entirely new one because of the fact that everyone was like, dude, what are you doing? This is horrible. What is The Room about? Okay, The Room is about a guy who's like a happy banker. I guess he's a banker, yeah. And he loves his fiancée, Lisa, except he never refers to her as his fiancée. It's always, my future wife. It's like Tommy Wiseau didn't know what the word fiancé meant as he wrote the script. He was like, what is the word for the future wife?
I wonder, listening to this, I wonder if he likes this now. Like this video.
Do you think he regrets it?
If he would,
I don't know.
I think
an iDubbbz maybe he'd say that he's being mean, like he's being mean to Tommy Wiseau, and mean to somebody who, when now he realizes how hard making a film is.
It's so weird though. Like, isn't it a better world where we can all be mean to everybody a little bit? Not like excessive, just a little bit of ribbing, right? Makes us all human.
Well, I mean, particularly when you're just talking about a movie that someone's released. I mean, people are going to judge it, and the person who made it. Such is the nature of creating art, right?
Could we push it further? People should judge it.
Well, it's not even that they should; they're going to.
No, I'm saying, should we push it further? They should. I'm saying it's an imperative that humanity should judge things that come out.
Statement,
yeah,
an statement rather than just an inevitability.
I'm sure he knows everyone will. I'm just saying that it's actually a good thing that it happens.
I guess the problem is, does he believe that like criticism is important? Does he believe that anymore?
No, he doesn't. Like he quite explicitly says, because everyone knows that the bit where he says he's not gonna review bad movies anymore, which is fine. That's included in this section. But I did also choose to include the stuff that leads up to it and the stuff he says after it, where he gives more reasoning. I use that word advisedly for his decision,
of course.
And that is when he says that he having been in the movie making industry. He sees how hard it is, how hard people work. He thinks that it's just wrong, it's mean, it would be weird for him to say, here's my movie, it's good, you should go watch it. This movie, on the other hand, is terrible and you shouldn't watch it. He thinks that in of itself is a bad thing. There's too much meanness about movies, that's a value judgment. He doesn't get anything out of it, he doesn't enjoy it. Again, value judgment, and he would much rather help people get into the industry by praising movies that are good than just tearing down movies that are bad, even if it could make good content. That's kind of his argument. He'll put it slightly differently later, but
here's the thing, though. Do you think that he would say these things about someone like Roger Ebert, for instance, or would he think that Roger Ebert played a better role because he was on television and in newspapers?
Well, it's kind of interesting is that he, in that video where he announces that he's not doing this anymore, he actually uses Roger Ebert. He says there's loads more examples than you might think of YouTubers, or critics, becoming movie makers. Most famously is Roger Ebert. That's what he says. He doesn't tell you whether that worked. Roger Ebert obviously did continue writing reviews, at least as far as I understand. He didn't see any necessary contradiction between reviewing bad movies and making your own. But Chris Stuckmann doesn't really engage with that argument. He just says, look, critics have become movie makers, like Roger Ebert, and therefore it's possible.
Sure. But was that ever in doubt?
Well, not to people with a brain, but he treats it as a revelation. So.
I think that was the big sticking point, though. It was just like, if you don't argue that the world would be better off if we were all never negative, and that includes just being critical or pointing out something that's not working in the hopes that it gets better. You can't do any of that. What we should be doing is celebrating film of all time to support it. I would rather he not make those statements because they're all untenable as hell, and instead just be honest and say, like, I'd rather not make fun of people that I'm probably going to be working with. It's like, that's fine. If that's what you want to do.
That is the subtext of everything he does say. Like, the only real through line is that I'm working with these people now. But it is subtextual. He doesn't outright say it, but it's the only sort of consistent position you can derive from what he does say.
I mean, it would kind of be bad to say it, I think, because everybody would recognize, like, oh, so it's kind of just like self-preservation, really, and that's like not as respectable as some principled position for why you would, want to change the way that you're doing things.
You'd of course just be like, why can't you find a happy middle ground where you don't go too far, but you simultaneously, like, do you really think any of these people that you may work with in future can't handle you saying, hey man, I don't think this was very good?
Particularly if you want to keep running the YouTube channel. I mean, it's kind of awkward. I guess we'll be getting to that, but we've already talked about it to some extent. I mean, he's almost signaled like, yeah, so the stuff I'm making here is kind of pointless. Like, I think it's pointless almost, but you guys are still here, and I guess you want this, so here you go. Here's your movie reviews.
Well, yeah, and that's
I
only...
can ascend over the... Leave this behind.
We'll just call it future wife. However, Tommy's future wife, Lisa, is a total slut, and she's having sex...
Whoa! Don't say that.
Shit. You can't just call future wives sluts.
Damn it.
...with Mark, Johnny's best friend. All the while, there's this guy named Denny, this creepy neighborhood kid who likes to come over, and every once in a while...
I love his restaurant.
That's actually a point, though. If he truly stands on this, like, you shouldn't make reviews like this anymore, and he would even go as far as saying other people shouldn't, why are these videos still up, then?
He should delete them.
He should, if he's consistent.
I mean, if he thinks that they're bad for the world, right?
I've seen a few people do that. Like, people who got, who did the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged series? Is it Little Karibo, I think it is, who sort of changed his mind on what you were allowed to do in comedy. And I really liked some of the only YouTube stuff I ever watched as a kid was like those Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged things, and I thought they were really funny. And then at some point he thought that a lot of the comedy he was using was really offensive to all the people that he really likes, and he'll never ever do it again. Didn't delete all the videos that were causing tremendous amounts of offense to various marginalized communities. Just put a little note in the description box saying, this no longer represents the person I am or want to be, and so I apologize. Meanwhile, continuing to rake in the views and presumably the money for them.
Right. Even though, because we have an example.
It's easy. It's having the best of both worlds. Just commit. I
think iDubbbz unlisted all of his content comps, right? Because he was committed to saying that was a mistake.
What's the thing? He said that he's like a stoic.
Yes.
Like he reads stoicism. I enjoy
like
that
the channel that sort of compiles all of his clips is called Stoic Chronicles. Which I
don't know. I think I just find it funny, the idea of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, iDubbbz. It's like, yeah, sure, okay.
The three great philosophers of Western civilization, nay, the world.
Yes.
Naturally.
At 30, I discovered empathy.
Such a bad quote.
What is wrong with you?
Why would you say that?
What?
Swallow admits that he likes to watch them have sex. Yeah, he just walks in and is like, hey guys, I'd just like to watch you. And they're like, that's funny, Denny. You know we love you. And he's just like, yeah, I like to watch you guys have sex. It's a lot of fun. You guys are awesome. You're my favorite people. The Room is a movie that is just consistently hilarious because of how truly awful it is. There are screenings of this movie all over the world, all the time. In Cleveland, where I live, they show this movie the first Saturday of every month at this one art house theater. They have you bring spoons to throw at the screen every single time a spoon-related photography image is in the background.
Oh, an anecdote, kind of a funny one.
Wow,
a good anecdote.
Like he's an actual person who does things and has a life. He has stories of his existence.
That's not unusual for the certainly fan viewings of the Room and stuff. But you can tell he's so look at him. He's so happy to say it, tell people about it.
And I think a lot of it as well is that he's not absolutely tied to his scripts in these videos. I think he does quite a lot of this stuff. I get the impression, at least, a lot of it's semi ad-libbed, at least. Which is, again, something else that you find it's more easy and natural to do if you are actually invested in the thing you're talking about. Because, You might have a script, you might be working off a script. As you go through, you forget something, but you're interested and you want to include it in the video. You can go off script and include it in the video and edit it down after the fact. It can be a funny anecdote like the one we've just heard, which also tells you more about the way this movie plays on his mind. It's like this is something that he finds hilarious. It's not just the movie he finds hilarious, it's the culture around the movie he finds hilarious. He's experienced it firsthand. It's part of his local growing up experience. All of this stuff is just a person who is a more rounded person coming through in his videos. I'm not saying he's a rounder person now, but like I'm sure he still is a rounded human being. It's just that none of it is allowed anywhere near his content anymore, which makes it significantly worse.
Yeah, maybe in an effort to remove any negative criticism where he's like, this is fucking shit. It's like he's just erased the passion surgically. Who knows? Like I said, we could speculate on what happened, but hard to say.
Because there are spoons all over this movie. Why are there pictures of spoons everywhere? No one knows. It's just amazing. Also, Tommy Wiseau clearly couldn't think of any ways to construct scenes in this movie because he has like at least 50 minutes of this movie be characters talking while they throw a football around. I would say there's at least probably 5 full minutes of people throwing footballs in this movie. It's impossible to review The Room without mentioning the 1990s cheesy sex scenes. Even though this movie came out in 2003, the sex scenes in this movie are like Tommy Wiseau watched a bunch of 1984 porn and decided, you know what, I want to do this. We will do that. I want to have a
funny voice impressions, observations that you may not hear from someone else, an assumption of how the film was made. It's just,
I mean, to be clear, this isn't great, but like it's not. It's there's at least something going on.
I mean, I would be happy to put it in the realm of good as a selection here. I'd be like, this is, if I saw this out in the wild, I'd be like, yeah, this is totally fine. It's just a movie review, someone talking, expressing some of their bits and bobs.
It's more like entertainment than information, but that was sort of the point of these hilariosity things. He coined the word because he had an imagination back then, and the idea of hilariosity was that you take movies that are hilarious and awful, and they're so hilariously awful that they're actually enjoyable. And then he turns them into entertaining content of his own. And that's fine. I wouldn't call this a critique. And there's examples later in this video where he does do something a bit more like a critique, which sort of exposes his flaws. It's not something he's particularly good at, but again shows that he was willing to engage in that area of sort of video production. But this is him having fun with something he's passionate about, which is nice to see, because he tells us all the time that he's so passionate about film. It would just be nice if we still saw that.
Yeah, it'd be nice if there was no need to tell us that. We could just feel it.
Whole bunch of sex with women in the belly button, because I cannot actually have sex. I don't know how, and so I think it goes in the belly button, right? Belly button sex. Worst sex scenes ever filmed. Best sex scenes ever filmed at the same time. I did a parody of it in the beginning of this video, but perhaps the most famous scene in this movie is the rooftop conversation with Mark.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her.
Just gonna be careful, you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, gotta be, maybe Tommy is, prowling the internet, looking for people.
Waiting
for people to... great work, his magnum opus.
Does he still defend this movie? Is he like a passionate defender of this?
He's just a strange man. Very, very strange man. Of course, because he had the whole sequence with the disaster artist, right? So it'd be hard to be a part of that and also refuse to be like, I'm sure he's on board with saying the movie's silly and pretty bad.
I think he's gone along with it.
Hi, Mark.
Oh, hey, Johnny, what's up?
I have a problem with Lisa. She says that I hit her.
What? Well, did you?
What?
No, it's funny. It's funny. I'm just surprised by how long he's playing this for.
What a weird outfit. He's got it's like a blazer jacket, but he's got a black t-shirt under it. And then he's got the pants that are like the unzipped short pants. Like, you can unzip them at the knees and they become shorts. I
thought you were talking about Mark, because he's wearing that kind of weird. It's not quite a shirt, not quite a singlet, it's like the shoulder part's a little bit too wide.
Yeah.
It just looks weird. It makes him look a bit weird. It makes him look very boxy. It's very strange.
So people want that. What we're talking about here is iconic character design, and they nailed it.
I mean, it is iconic in a sense. It's very distinct, because Rags is right about they are those pants, right? Yeah, they have the zipper that you can unzip. very pre-2000 sort of
I had some growing up. They were really useful. You could wear them in the summer. You could wear them in the winter. You could wear them at any time. Sometimes you want shorts. Sometimes you want pants.
And instead of committing, you could just have the best of both worlds.
That's right. Now I just commit to pants.
I don't know. I wonder if buying those kind of pants fosters indecisiveness, you know?
Like as a general life philosophy?
Yeah. You know, somebody who doesn't take chances, who doesn't go, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to wear some shorts today. And if I get cold, so be it.
And maybe they buy, and then they end up buying like there's probably a shirt version, a jacket version. There's gotta be. There's every kind of clothing out there you could imagine where you could do that with your sleeves as well. You could unzip the ones around your sleeves. You have a fully modular fashion, a wardrobe set up.
Maybe it speaks like a duplicitous human being. It's you can present as one thing in one situation, but as another thing in another situation, and this makes you shifty and untrustworthy.
Oh, well, that makes sense because this would be a great outfit to wear if you're committing a crime, right? You go and commit a crime somewhere, and people say, "Oh yeah, I was a white male, long black hair, black jacket, but he had long white pants." All right, he had really long white pants, and so then Tommy, after he's done with his ruffiano behavior, right, robbing the 7-Eleven or whatever, he'll then undo his pants to make them shorts. And then he'll leave them behind. He'll throw them away in a trash can, like a gun. And he'll be running down the street, and they'll say, "I think suspect spotted. Suspect." Oh, no. He's got shorts on. This wasn't the guy who did it.
Description.
Keep on with the search, everybody. Didn't match the description. This guy's got shorts on. So then Tommy gets away with it.
Later in this hypothetical movie, where the detective he can't piece it together, and then he revisits the crime scene and he finds this weird piece of fabric in the bin, and it's like, oh my god. I know what happened, and then he has to race to stop Tommy from murdering.
Yeah, that's like the realization that takes us into the third act. That would be a great film. The pants.
Oh, man.
No, it's not true. Don't even ask. What's new with you?
Well, I'm just sitting up here thinking,
The dialogue in that scene is so thought-provoking, and it says true things about humanity. It's freaking terrible. It's all terrible. I also can't go without mentioning the flower.
Man, this Stuckmann should totally hang out with new Stuckmann. The way that he was like, I could pretend to do the thing of like, oh, there's so much meaning to grab it. It's like, no, it's bad. It's just like, yeah, that's okay. It's okay.
Shop scene. In fact,
I've once heard that hell is where you, as you are, have a conversation with the person you could have been.
Oh.
So. Who knows?
Is that person always better? Like they had lived a better life?
It's implied that it's implied to be that way, but
what if they were worse?
It's like a bit of a flip. Yeah, it's just like, oh, Chris, one day you become this, and also you make a terrible movie. So I'd spoil. I mean,
it would just be funny if it was like you could have been a serial killer, but you chose to just be a loser. And you're like, oh, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, you could have been remembered for something. You could have gone down in history. You could have made your mark on the world, but instead you didn't kill anyone.
I'm just going to show it to you because there's no way that I can parody it correctly. There's no way that I can explain the amazement. You just have to watch the flower shop scene because it's the flower shop scene from The Room. Please enjoy.
Hi. Can I help you?
Yeah, can I help?
So yeah, this is amazing. This scene, most
this
people
is an
know it.
Scene. Yeah, it has a dog.
Yeah,
there's so much to say about it.
It does.
Was it who did we cover that kind of like fucked up analyzing this? Was it Nostalgia Critic or am I misremembering?
Oh,
I could have sworn
think it was Nostalgia.
We covered someone who said there was
wild card.
particular things wrong with this, and we were like, "Wait, how did they get this wrong?" Like, in terms of what was wrong with it, I'm having some kind of weird memory. I don't know.
I think no, I think you're right. Someone had talked about it, and they got something wrong about it. I forget. Maybe chat can help us out if they remember who it was.
Chat suggested Brown Table, but has also suggested Grimuglia.
Bad dialogue guy. That could be it.
Both.
Or Cinema Venom.
Remember we did in the anniversary Bad Dialogue guy. I think it was him.
I think it was Bad Dialogue guy. I think it was.
He's a wacky fella, Bad Dialogue guy.
Writer Brandon McNulty.
Writer Brandon McNulty, yes.
Writer Brandon. It says writer. Writer Brian McNulty.
I am a writer.
His writing advice was actually quite bad. Writer Brandon McNulty.
He's got like 6 of those. You understand? We'll be doing one per anniversary, fellas. I'm sorry.
Please.
Years to come.
Hi, Johnny. I didn't know it was you. Here you go.
How do you mistake him for someone else?
That's
I didn't
so
know that
funny
was
about
you.
it. It's such a stilted delivery.
She mistakes him for somebody else, but he's her favorite customer. You figure that she would remember the face.
Well, I think what happened.
Yeah, my favorite customer.
Well, I think what happened was that last time she saw him, he was wearing pants. But then he he unzipped them, so they're shorts now. So she didn't match the description from last she remembered. But then she's like, oh, right. He got close to the counter. She didn't even notice they were shorts. So, yeah.
By the way, I just realized, I don't know if this is the first EFAP that we've got it this way now, but the ats in the names in the chat instead of their names, YouTube changed it.
It sucks.
It sucks so much.
What a dumb fucking thing to do. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? What's the point? What's the purpose? Is it so that to get everyone to hate it? Is that why? Because you've succeeded. What's the point?
It's been like rolling out on other channels. I guess it's time for us to be hit by it. There we go.
I suppose I have to
names
relearn
now.
a lot of people's names, and I won't recognize who and who isn't a regular and things of that nature. I got to just relearn.
Yeah. Boo-hoo.
That's me.
That's
How
me.
much is it?
It'll be $18.
Here you go. Keep the change. Hi, doggy.
See, such a caring soul.
I like how he just
Hey,
takes the
doggy.
flowers and instantly flips them upside down.
You're my favorite customer.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Oh,
Thanks a lot, bye.
that's what makes it so good. You're my favorite customer. It just feels like, man, you really needed that character to compliment you. Fucking
He's
hell.
a good man.
Really, flower
He's a
shop.
good man,
Really,
and the world
really.
is against him in that movie. And gosh darn it, he's just trying to make it through.
You think that's the kind of thing you'd write if you're like, yeah, my character visits like some prostitute, and then she says, no, of everyone, you're the best, you're the most virile, you're the most excellent customer I ever have. No, I got a flower shop. I'm the coolest, most beloved customer at this flower shop.
Also, someone said
Maybe
that
it speaks to a gentleness.
that line was
character.
ADR. I'm pretty sure all of it is ADR.
All ADR.
It's all
It's
ADR.
all of it.
Pretty sure the
all
whole
of it
fucking
is
movie is
ADR.
ADR. It's just they didn't get anything right first time, you know?
Movies do not get better than this. They really don't. Yeah, they do. Movies get a lot better than this. One of the ways this movie actually became more famous is half because of Adult Swim, and I witnessed it happen. If you guys remember, years back, Adult Swim did one of their first April Fool's pranks. All night on April Fool's, they did nothing but continuously play The Room. With the edited sex scenes, they had like weird bars over all the sex scenes. And I remember I turned on the channel and I was like,
I didn't know this.
From then on, The Room just kept developing this reputation for this amazing comedy. And if you want to have...
I mean, yeah, it is really fucking funny.
God, Adult
and it's
Swim
kind
is
of
legendary.
The Room is one of the examples of things that probably do provide him difficulty, modern Stuckmann, because it's like, it's so much fun to be critical of it, and it made it a major success, and people, learn from that. It's like, that's just a...
And who are you to deny them the fun of making fun of the movie?
It's a stacked good. Loads of good comes from it, especially for the creator. Like, he benefited immensely from The Room being bad. So, like, how do we sort that out? How does that work?
Have an amazing time watching a horrible movie. The Room is one of the best, worst movies ever made.
I fed up with this world.
I'm fed up with this world. It's just an amazing delivery.
Me too.
Here's
So
the
on
other
these-
thing as well with these early Stuckmann videos is that they get clip selection to actually make jokes and clip selection
Yeah.
to keep it it seems way more varied. It's not just him talking about the film, it's also him showing bits of the film or bits of different films to make the point, as well as parodying them in sketch format. There's just way more variety in them, and they make for quite entertaining watches. I was entertained all the way through the really old Hilariosity videos that I watched.
Yeah, damn.
Types of reviews, I'm going to do a different type of grading scale. This movie for sure gets an F. It's terrible.
But-
F for funny.
On the Hilariosity scale, this movie gets an A+.
Oh, not an S? Or does he not do S?
I don't know
I
if
guess
he does
probably
it.
not.
Oh, surely
No.
this would be an S if ever there was one. Right?
Yeah, it would have to be.
No, I guess he is deciding like, well, it's got to be authentic, It's you gotta. There is no. That's not a score. That's the only score in silly things like Devil May Cry. Not in the real world. Not in the professional movie review world.
Because it is truly amazing in that way. In that way. And only in that way. If you guys want to get together with your friends and have a good laugh, or just with yourself and have a good laugh, I'm positive that The Room...
I'd love to get together with myself and have a good laugh.
Hell yeah.
As I often do.
We'll do that for you. I will try to do more of these reviews as I see other films that I think are so bad that they're amazing. And as always, guys, thanks for...
So these are dead outright, are they? Like the genre of video that he makes, Hilariosity.
I believe so. I don't remember the last time
one of these
precisely they were updated, but yeah, I think it is into the years at this point since he last did one. Because he even stopped doing his worst of the year videos as well. After
yes, because he did used to do that. Yes,
he did a best
that,
and a worst of the year, and now he just conspicuously does a best of the year.
Does he react to the Oscar nominations? Because I have a distinct memory of him getting really, really upset that Nightcrawler didn't get like nominated for much, and that would have been, I guess, what, 2014-ish. I recall this because I don't know why it's so vivid, but it's like he was listening to all of the nominees for like Best Actor, and obviously one of Jake Gyllenhaal, which, Jake Gyllenhaal is fantastic in that, and he didn't get nominated. And I just distinctly remember him getting really angry and saying like, "Fuck the Oscars!" Like, I'm done with the Oscars. And it's just like, it's like I like to see this sort of thing. I like to see that you really, really, really enjoyed a particular movie and were very upset that it got snubbed.
Especially because Nightcrawler was fucking great.
I mean, I agree with him. Like, Nightcrawler did get snubbed pretty hard. Like, I think it only got nominated. The major category it got nominated for was like best original screenplay, and that's it. I guess the point being, I assume that's another thing that he doesn't do now of reacting to the Oscars, because by doing so, you're providing a very clear. Like the hierarchy becomes clear. You can't sort of hide behind the vague, I liked it or I didn't like it. It's like, no, now you need to commit. Which movies do you think ought to be nominated over other movies?
Very much for watching, and if you like this, let me know and I'll do more. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmann eyes. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there you go.
He was doing an impression of his future self.
You're my favorite customer.
So he had fun with that, and
he sure did.
An emotion,
a little bit of emotion, playing characters and all the rest of that stuff. We're now moving to a more modern video, and this is when he covers something that he likes and something he thinks is really good. So naturally, you would expect him to have a lot to say about it. It is The Haunting of Hill House Season 1.
Yay!
And I can't wait to see what terrific insights he has, because, he wants to praise these things to increase the overall quality of filmmaking. So, what's he got?
The Haunting of Hill House is not a new show. It came out last year on Netflix, and I watched the entire first season, and I'm just now getting to talk about it. Why is that? Busy as fuck. Probably the best.
Okay, how long was this video?
Ooh,
4
that's
minutes,
a good question.
right?
I think it's under 5, I think. So I've got it. Let me find
So
the
I
file.
totally
Here it
understand
is.
people not having the time to make certain things, but 5-minute vlog? You had trouble... Really?
You just sit down and record it for 5 minutes.
Well,
It
particularly-
takes
Which is what he does.
10 minutes real time to
Really-
make.
You really, really liked it. You figured that would. It's like, well, I gotta at least
Bump it up in the
prioritize
But he
to-do
also
list.
thinks
I-
that-
Yeah.
Because he gives
Video.
excuses here that I think this video comes out almost a year after the show, or certainly the year after the show came out. And so he's gone back to do it, which means it's not time sensitive, which means he could have waited as long as he wanted until he'd got a longer video, maybe with more to say, when he can talk more fully about it. It's 4 minutes and 29 seconds exactly, this video.
Man.
If you are going to go back and do something on an older show that you really, really like, and it's not time limited anymore, then you've got all the time you want. You can release this video later. You can make it longer and better, but he did not do that.
4.5 minutes.
It's also
Talk
funny to
about the
spend
Haunting of Hill
any of
House.
that time talking about how long it took to make and you didn't have any time. It's like, don't say that. Just keep talking about the thing. You got no time, bud.
I can describe it. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about what I think is the best new TV show I've saw all last year. This show
And all
was
you had to
fucking
spare was
phenomenal.
4.
I love
Man,
4.5
and all you had
minutes.
to spare was 4.5 minutes. Yeah.
All I have to play with you.
every
Okay.
single episode, and much of this is due to the creative, I will just say, genius.
Everyone's upset he said I saw. It's okay. He didn't have time, guys. He didn't have time.
Of Mike Flanagan. I have been talking about this man since Oculus. After Oculus, I went back and I watched his film Absentia, made for a shoestring budget with some people he knew in an apartment.
Okay, but again, just careful. We got barely any time to talk about Hill House. You know,
That's neat.
Get going.
Yeah.
that he rented, and I've followed his career through great movies like Hush, and I'm ecstatic to see just how great this show was. This is without a doubt the best.
I don't know if this footage is unbroken and I should be careful.
It's a trailer, so
should be
I'm not
okay,
sure.
but you never know. Okay.
Anything that's been made out of that original source. There was the 1963.
Oh, that's actually not a great point to make. You know, like the Hill House is the best thing to come out of the original source when it has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, that's.
You know, like I'm not saying
he must know that, right? He must know that if he's making this point,
if he's familiar with
like if he's familiar enough with
just,
the original that he would want to make this point, then he must know that it's not very much like it.
Because you know, I'm obviously I haven't read The Haunting of Hill House myself, but I was always surprised. I was like, oh, what a great TV show! Let me check out what people are saying about it. And there was very passionately angry people, and I was like, whoa, what went wrong? And all of them were saying like this is an insult to the source material, and that it'll like delay another adaptation, and we don't get to see the story we love put on screen. You know, things that are like, well, yeah, I mean, I can't deny. I'd be a little bit pissed if I were you too. Yeah, like let's say the Halo show, we're excellent, but it had nothing to do with Halo. It would be like, wow,
it would still be
okay.
a case of like, that's cool that you made a good show, but you know, it's a little bit frustrating.
Unfortunately, they made a really bad show that has nothing to do with Halo.
Yes, that's right. they fully committed to just. But, no, this is man, this is like it's so short because we're already like a quarter of the way through this at this point, right?
Presumably,
if it's 4.5 minutes,
that, yeah. And so far, he said it's really good. It's one of the best things he's seen. It's really good. It's one of the best things he's seen. He really likes the director because he's seen other things that the director has done,
which are also
they're
good.
also good.
Yeah.
3, The Haunting, the 1999 The Haunting.
Like, there's no need. You've not got the time.
And now this, which has been adapted from Shirley Jackson's book, and it's easily the best out of all of those. This is super, super creepy fucking shit.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the show from beginning to end. And if you don't know what the plot is, or you haven't seen the show on Netflix, it's basically about Hill House and the family members that were there as kids, how it affected them then, the hauntings that went on there, and how it affected them as adults. It's not
Jesus Christ. It's like, you know what? You are correct. It is about a family that lived in a house and got haunted.
Not just about a ghostly haunting. This is a very haunted family. It's not always about ghosts. It could be about an author who wrote a book and his family is extremely bothered by the fact that he put all of that out there and they're angry with him.
Doing analysis right now and you don't have enough time. We're not doing analysis.
No,
right
we're just
here.
doing
This is just describing things that happen in the story. We're not analyzing. I don't know why you're not analyzing when you have only 4.5 minutes to work with.
Well, you could have. He's done Steve, I guess. I don't know how many others he's going to do, but like you could just trade him out, right? You'd be like, it's actually about a girl who became a child services person as a result of experiencing the trauma, or is about. I mean, you could pick Luke. You could pick. I guess what I'm saying is just like these aren't. This isn't anything. This isn't even episode summaries. This is like a broad summary.
It's also about how one of them has a severe drug problem. How he's in
see Luke, and it's like you're going to do the whole family, and even if you did, why?
Out of rehab, and his family's trying to care for him. Every single one of these family members is in some way, shape, or form affected by their experience at Hill House.
I would fucking hope so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what the fuck's the point of the show? Like the Haunting of Hill House.
The Stuckmann formula. This is what he said about Predator Badlands in the first video we watched as well. The character has experiences in place and is affected by them.
I think to illustrate this, it would be like we're reviewing a film called The Killings in Fairview, and we're like, there's a place called Fairview, and there's a serial killer, and he's running around, he's killing people. Many people are affected by the killings in Fairview. And you're like, yeah, that sounds like that's what would happen in a film called that.
Tell me more.
And how it shaped them into the people they are today. And so it's not just a really scary, well-made drama horror. Mm-hmm. It's also an extremely effective tragedy. Every episode builds from the last, and the scares get better and better and better.
Every episode builds from the last. That's funny.
It builds up over every episode. That's not analysis.
That's just TV.
That doesn't tell me anything.
That's what they're supposed to do.
I would expect it to do that, but I don't understand how it does that or why I would be interested in the way that they did it.
I loved how Mike Flanagan set up the ghost. I have said this for years.
Why?
He's one of the best horror directors working
You've said he's the best many times. Give us something. Give us something.
Today, and I'm so excited he has Dr. Sleep in the pipeline. I can't wait to see that film. I'm just glad that people are starting to notice his talent. Like, really. Because I thought Oculus was just so fucking good.
You said that already.
Yeah, you said that, but it would be nice if you told me why.
Yep. And I'm just glad that more people are starting to notice.
Okay,
I made the mistake of often watching this show before bed. Sometimes I'd like to put on something before bed to sort of relax a little bit.
Well, what are we, past analysis into anecdotes now? Like,
this is the closing anecdote of the video. It's kind of interesting. It is the closing anecdote of the video, and it is just kind of interesting to compare it to the tone, delivery, content of the ones in the room. It's just like one of them is very distinctly him and delivered amusingly, and the other one is like anyone, even this anecdote about his own personal life could be said by anyone, which is a shit anecdote.
I watched a scary movie before I went to bed, and it scared me when I was asleep. Wow. So yeah, this is not a unique. I feel like I've heard this before.
I just, you know how people are like, this person or this person didn't cover X or Y or Z, and he does this review and you go, yeah, Chris covered Hill House. Like, did he? Did he? This is barely a recommendation.
I'm not saying it scared me and made it so I can't sleep. I watch creepy shit before bed all the time.
Okay. I watch creepy shit before bed all the time. It's like, all right, yeah, it's fair enough.
The mistake was that I was so invested in the show that I kept wanting to watch the next episode, and I didn't go to bed.
Yeah, it'll do that. It's a good show, I hear, from this very video.
What's the problem? Because it's just that investing. I'm sure most of you have probably seen the show by now.
I'm sure most of you have seen it by now. Well, then, what's the point?
What are we doing here, then?
Yeah.
What's going on?
You didn't say anything about it.
Have seen it. That's probably not anything.
I mean, if he believes that,
people have seen it.
It's barely functional as a recommendation. What's the point of the video?
It's late, but if you haven't, please do check it out. If you have Netflix, especially, it's there. You can just access it right now. I think.
Oh, yeah, hey, you should watch this show. If you have Netflix, it's on Netflix.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good,
really?
It's good to know.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Yeah,
it's good to know.
Helpful. Yeah.
It's one of the best horror TV shows in regards to debuts I've ever seen.
In regards to debuts,
why would that be of importance?
Television show?
I mean, what's it? Well, I would just be asking, like, so what's your comparisons? What are you thinking about, Chris, that's making you say that?
Yeah, like, what other... Because I guess you would have to be pointing to film directors going on to make television shows where they direct, or, like, the showrunner. But, I mean, how many examples off the top of one's head does anybody have for that?
If they do make more, I'm excited. If they don't, that's fine. It's perfect. I like the way it let out.
What?
It's fine. It's perfect.
Okay.
It is both.
The ending was a little unpopular for some people.
Oh, it's because it's bad.
It was a bad ending.
Pretty bad.
Good luck trying to get that information out of him. Though. He will just say that some people thought it was disappointing. He won't say who or why.
Of course. This is before he's announced his lack of criticism, but yeah, he's not going to say that about Hill House.
But I liked it. I really thought it was different and kind of mature. Henry Thomas, holy.
Okay, so I guess we're not going to talk about it. And also, I would disagree. I think it's not mature. That's kind of the problem with it. It's a bit of a cop out.
Pushes out.
Didn't want to commit to the essentially bad ending. That,
as far as I remember, he's all but admitted that, right? That he couldn't bring himself to do it. It's too sad of an ending. And it's like, okay, but now you have to change the whole fucking season if you're going to do that.
This is the story you wrote. This is the story that you wrote, and this is how it should end. But I enjoyed that. That's all he had to say. I liked it. I thought it was good.
Shit, great to see him in this show. What a great actor. I'm so glad he's getting more respect.
Why?
Because
Tell me why.
I've liked him a lot in things like Psycho 4, when he played young Bates.
See, because what's happening now is he's sort of just having thoughts, and it's just like, so what was the prep for this video? He wanted to say it was great.
I guess there wasn't any.
And it was
which is
about
really-
a family that lived in a house that was haunted, and it affected them all the way up to being adults. Okay.
I don't know,
This
man.
is the review you make
think
when
this
you
is
don't
for your
watch it.
one of your favorite filmmakers who you would then go on to have executive produce your film, and like this is all you have to say about the show.
Like, oh yeah,
Chris
I mean,
Stuckmann's reviews are the kinds of reviews you could make if you didn't watch the movie at all or the show, and you just sort of piece together the blurbs from every review on the internet.
Well, so I think, Rags, it's not even too far away from if I said to you in isolation, you're locked in a room, and I'm like, make this video, or rather, make a 5-minute review of The Haunting of Hill House. That's all I tell you. I think you could say most of this.
Well, I could, but I wouldn't. It would be a completely different review, yeah.
Because you'd be like, okay, so it's obviously it's a ghost story, and it regards a big old house in which hauntings take place, and the people who are there experience many traumas, and they go through much drama, and the episodes build on themselves. The story reaches points that are very engaging. It's a drama and simultaneously a tragedy. And you're like, have you seen it? You're like, no. Do you know anything about it? No. But I think what I said was accurate, so there we go.
The Haunting of Hill House. I mean, the name.
Truly.
The name's, it gives me a lot of clues.
The Killings in Fairview. You can guess a lot from the name.
Norman Bates.
So there's this place
Really
called
great.
Fairview, and you won't believe what happens.
You're
there.
never going to believe it.
It's a real tragedy.
Great actor, and I'm so glad he's getting more work. This show really gave me everything I wanted and more. And I'm
Okay, but tell us what you wanted.
What you wanted.
Yeah, specifically,
What you
not just like good
How did it give it to
experiences.
you?
glad that
And
so
then
many
what
people
more
are.
did it give you?
Yeah.
Well, it's like everything I wanted and more. It's okay, what were your expectations? What worked about those? How did the show deliver them? And then where did it surprise you positively? But this is the kind of, if probably most people had the experience where, like, if you're really into film or TV, and like your friends or your family know you're really into film and TV, occasionally one will come around and visit, and just by way of filling gaps in conversations or just making a short conversation, someone will say, oh, have you seen this new thing? It's on Netflix. And you say either yes or no. And if it's no, they'll say, oh, it's pretty cool. You know, it's got so-and-so in it from that. And yeah, it's just really good. And you're like, oh, that's cool. I might check it out. And then the conversation moves on to something more interesting than that. Stuckmann's video is just that conversation. It's the thing before the conversation starts.
Yeah.
And this is all of his videos. It would be pretty bad if it was a one-off, but then you would look at it and say, okay, well, in this particular example, he didn't have enough time, and like he just wanted to throw something out into the internet because he had a gap to fill. But it's every fucking video now. So what does anyone get out of these beyond? Oh yeah, that's cool.
He said it
Appreciating
was
it.
good. I'll go see it.
Mm.
But that's all of his things, I guess, because he doesn't review the bad ones.
I'm going to give The Haunting of Hill House an A.
Ouch.
Again,
Not
I
an A+.
apologize.
Why not
The
A+?
review was so late. Just
Why not A+?
I don't know. I guess we'll never know.
That would be because some people thought that the ending was a bit of a letdown.
But he thought it was different, so yeah.
Thought it was mature.
different.
I guess that's a
Mature,
negative.
Yes.
became one of those things where I was going to do it, and then something else came up. Gonna do it, something else came up, and then it became
Oh
easy
my
to
god!
push
Why are we
But, like, dude,
talking about this?
What exactly have you done? Like, he's treating this like he's just fucking tossed the ring into Mordor. Like, he's like, I've done it now. You're like, what do you
Finally
mean?
got that review done. Jeez, that's really been weighing on me. Oh
Why
boy,
are
but
we
it's fine.
spending so
It's
much
over.
of this
It's done,
very
Sam.
short
It's done.
video? Like, this is a 4.5 minute video, and what? Like, a good 10-15% of it is him explaining, like, oh, I've just been so busy, I couldn't talk about it.
But I got it done.
There you
looking
go.
forward to more if they decide to make more. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.
You bet.
We sure did
Oh.
get Stuckmanized.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So yeah,
Thanks for
that's a great representation
This is,
of how pointless it is to
This
watch
is
these
the way-
videos.
I feel like it has to be noted. This is the way that he's speaking about a filmmaker whom he claims to really, really respect, who then went on to produce his movie. This is what he had to say about that show.
Yep.
And Flanagan, I did look this up for Shelby Ace because I obviously was kind of interested to know that Flanagan was involved in that. And I did try and find anything at all that Flanagan had said about Stuckmann or about Shelby Oaks. And there's basically a Chris Stuckmann's video worth of information from Flanagan, where Flanagan just says, like, oh yeah, I was really impressed with Chris's work ethic. He's clever and he's talented. His Kickstarter was cool. He kind of reminds me of my younger self. He's on an exciting path. and I was happy to share a couple of moments with him.
Well, Flanagan is a master storyteller. So,
I mean, it would be neat if Flanagan said about his work that he loved the writing and he thought the concept was incredible or something. But if he's avoiding saying that, it's like, okay.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, that's the only thing he said. So it's almost it's the kind of thing again you can say without having watched the movie. Just as many of Stuckmann's videos are the kinds of things you can say if you haven't watched the movie. It's just that this is what you say because you kind of have to. I guess it's your job and like, someone has asked, but it's not something you say if you're as passionate about it as you claim.
Maybe he wants it to stand on its own 2 feet itself, like not support it and produce it, but not necessarily tell everyone it's amazing and you should see it.
But Shelby Oaks does open with its in its title credits with Mike Flanagan Presents.
True.
So, it feels like there isn't that much distance, or at least like if there is a great amount of distance between him and the film, something like that doesn't make it seem like that is the case. But I guess maybe it is. maybe there is like a tremendous distance.
The problem.
So this bit, we're going back in time one more time for Chris Stuckmann. This is another older video that he made. It is called The Problem with Modern Horror Movies. And I thought, well, as soon as I saw the video title, that's going to be really interesting because this isn't the period of time where Stuckmann was allowed to say things. He's doing an analysis, which could be interesting. It's about modern horror movies, which he's just made. So, I wonder what he says the big problems with modern horror movies are. And as I think will become clear from this clip, it does expose his kind of deficiencies as an analyst, but he does make a couple of points which are kind of specific and will be interesting when we come on to the movie he actually made, which I say not to poison the well, except that is exactly what I'm doing.
With horror movies today, what I want to discuss is audience expectation, how that can ruin a good horror film, and more importantly, have audiences forgotten what real horror is? In my opinion, the horror genre is the most widely varied in film. There's countless subgenres. Monsters, slashers, zombies.
Okay, this is already not a good point.
No. We're doing the weird genre shit.
Well, you could do it with every genre. You could even do this with romance.
Yeah.
You could be like, there's romance horror, romance comedy, romance adventure.
If we're going to make this argument, it could apply to everything, but also, like, surely it would be sci-fi if we had to actually narrow it down to, like, the most varied.
I mean, sci-fi I tend to think is the number one for this because it can be anything. Ultimately, but it can still be quintessentially sci-fi. You know what I mean? Like it's not like the others where horror could. It's like, well, horror could do anything really, and it's like, yeah, but sci-fi can contextualize it with great purpose to sci-fi specifically. It's like, but I still wouldn't necessarily push any one of them. I would just be like, no, all genres have their great span of all kinds of things they can do. It's storytelling, eh?
There is sort of the implicit point, which I thought was worth carrying forward, is that one of the things Stuckmann holds against modern horror movies is sort of audience perceptions, but also implicitly a lack of imagination when it comes to modern horror movies. They can do so many different things, yet they all seem not to do any of those, and they rely on a bunch of stock tropes.
My way of if I wanted to argue that horror is got the most potential, I certainly wouldn't list monsters, slashers, ghosts, but it's like no, that's you. That's like the narrowest scale ever. Yeah, like all of them come under a list almost. It's like, no, you want to go expand way further than that. Like I would probably want to start with something like horror comedy versus horror, like splatter sort of movies versus something incredibly existential. Something like Lovecraft, or then something like The Fly, body horror. It's like these very disparate and distant sort of approaches, but still create your horror sort of thing. And then you could expand way further and say that you get into wacky territory as to what, like Bone Tomahawk is a western, but it's got some of the scariest shit in there randomly. It's just like, is that a part of the horror genre? It's like, it's complicated. It's like a mixture.
Nature, aliens, torture, comedy.
Nature, aliens, torture, comedy.
That's a sentence.
It's a music list.
Comedy.
Genre. It's annoying.
And my personal favorite, psychological. As a genre, the use of imagination is almost unlimited. But
yeah, you know, I just want to go to bat for all storytelling forms. I'd say it's unlimited on all of them. It's all down to you, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd agree.
This stuff I don't even really care about genre-wise, but I wouldn't deny anyone who's in it being like, you know, there's so much to tap into. I'd be like, you go for it, 100%.
lately, imagination is a word that studios, horror filmmakers, and as a result, the audience has completely forgotten about.
No.
Oh, this is a little bit edgy by his standards, because now he would only blame the studio.
I'm not even sure I don't know.
Well, he did with Madam Web.
Right in the chat.
Did with Madam Web, yeah.
He was very much putting the burden of that
safe one
shit on the studio.
The thing is, safe,
it's usually generally safe to blame studios because they're kind of amorphous. It's an entity. It's not like people. And even when you're talking about producers, a lot of people, whatever, we don't really like them. Compared to if you're shitting on the director, it's like, yeah, it's a little bit edgier, for sure, to say that the director fucked up. By his standards, at least. By normal people's standards, it's not. Normal people are far more willing to criticize the creators of these projects.
Here's a comment I recently came across on IMDb. Okay, this is meant to be a horror, right? You wait all through film to see this thing just to be let down. Yes, the atmosphere is creepy, but the end ruined it. Imagination is for kids. I want to see the monster at the end. Big letdown.
I mean, you'll get this comment for everything forever. This person always exists.
Yeah, I also have no context. Maybe this is actually kind of accurate to the film.
Maybe.
I don't know what movie is this? Oh, okay, here we go.
The Babadook, which I recently had the pleasure of seeing. It's a dark, soulful film about a mother and son dealing with grief and a monster that lurks in the darkness.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all that people have this take on the Babadook. That there's plenty of people who would. I mean, like it's a movie that it's a horrifying monster that's in the house until by the end of the film you realize something about the monster, so to speak. I could totally see someone being like, "Boo! I don't like that. That's what it was." And it's like, okay, fair enough. I mean, I didn't think it was that great. I thought it was fine.
This commenter seems to be upset that he didn't receive much of a look at said monster. He also seems to have completely missed the point of the film.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness!
How did this?
My god!
It's a spooky.
We got the wrong disc is in the player. Oh my goodness!
It's on.
Whoops!
I like the spooky demon. I think he's he's a spooky demon. Look at him go, being spooky.
He sure
Look
is.
Look at him.
Oh no!
This part made me laugh though. The spooky demon was spooky.
The Babadook
made me laugh.
So
I laughed.
How's that for foreshadowing?
Couple of things I thought worth throwing those little clips in there for is that they so there's obviously the main one being the thing that he's criticizing the commenter for, he actually goes on to do in his own movie, which is kind of to trade in the point of the film in order to show people the cheap, schlocky monster because he thinks that'll be more satisfying to people. So that's the first of a couple of contradictions in the video. But the dog one in particular is funny because, and we obviously talk about it more when we actually get there in the movie itself, but that was not originally in the film at all. The original film was going to end with kind of more, I think more like that the Babadook and other things have done, more, I guess, opaque, more nebulous, sort of more sinister, and more metaphorical. So like she falls out of the window, she dies. The final shot of the movie is this sinister sort of look at the house, with the implication being that the monster has taken root there. That was what it was going to be originally. Then he got more money from the studio, and they said, "Hey, well, you could reshoot some stuff. If you want to, you can add stuff in that you wanted. If you want to go back and add it." And he's like, "Oh, cool. Right. So no, instead of that, we're going to just say, oh no, she'll fall out the window, then she'll be eaten by hellhounds, and then we'll have an actual shot of the evil monster with its hand on the protagonist to tell the audience overtly that the monster is won." One of those is more in line with what he praised earlier movies as being than the other one is. And he went for something which is against his previous taste in monster films, which maybe he's changed his mind. That's possible. But I do think it made the movie worse, so he probably should have listened to himself.
Interesting. The pod person theory grows stronger.
Is the best horror film I've seen in 2014. It deeply unsettled me, and not just because of its effective atmosphere and cinematography. The true terror of the film is its implications, the hidden meaning of the monster, and its excellent exploration of grief and depression.
All of which is something that you could have said of Shelby Oaks at one point, because the movie has an atmosphere, like it's reasonably well shot, and so we'll talk more about this presently. It is quite eerie in its moments. The soundtrack does a decent enough job, I guess. And it's supposed to be about the psychological trauma of losing a loved one, and the horror is supposed to be in the stuff that you kind of infer from what you see, as opposed to what the movie shoves down your throat. Like, all of that was what like Shelby Oaks could have been, and by the sounds of things was, until he decided to add more stuff to it. So again, did not listen to his own old words. Maybe he does just disavow them because they came at a time when he was critical of things, and that's bad.
Maybe.
But
the dark times.
Or the Empire.
Mature and discerning horror fans have shown major appreciation for the film's lack of cheap jump scares.
Oh no.
And the tasteless scare tactics of many modern-day horror films.
Oh no!
No.
That's also the problem.
He did it.
For many audience members today, the term scary has a completely different definition. For some, it seems a film's scare level is measured by how many times a loud noise or sound effect made them jump in their seat. This is the curse of the jump scare. It is the single easiest scare to accomplish.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know what film this is, but these are great examples, Platoon.
I know. I
I
drew them from all manner of places. Just all of horror films ever, because there's no way that someone made a video talking about how easy and cheap jump scares are, and that there were enough jump scares in the movie he made for me to put an example of them from his movie after every point that he makes. That would just be impossible.
For the record, I completely agree with what pre-pod person Stuckmann is saying in these clips about jump scares.
I hate the curse of the jump scare. It sucks. It needs to die. It's a shame that it works so well on so many people.
Real effort put into it, and the exact same technique is used every time. All sound suddenly drains from the movie, no one speaks, there's no music, and then suddenly an ear-piercing jolt rings through the theater and everyone jumps because a really loud noise just happened.
Oh no!
You've become the thing that you swore to destroy.
How could you do that?
Hypothetically.
The jump scare is the cheapest tactic used in horror films today, and the most frightening thing is, its rampant use has caused many audience members to forget what true horror is.
Agreed.
Another deciding factor.
It has. So
horror, by the way.
True horror, that's
yeah. Quite a definitive statement.
So obviously the video is, we're not watching all of his video. I've sort of selected basically just a complete argument for it. But so there is a part where he tries to draw a distinction, which is almost interesting, I guess, between like an acceptable use for a jump scare and an unacceptable use for a jump scare. And an acceptable use of a jump scare is when the jump scare itself is directing the focus of your horror, I guess, at the thing you are actually supposed to be scared of. Whereas the unacceptable use of a jump scare is when just environmental noise happens, when there is just a loud bang, or when it is just like completely disconnected from the story it's trying to tell. It's just a loud noise that makes you like jump in your seat, that kind of thing. And like to give it, it's not really much of a defense for his deployment of it, because actually the things that are jump scaring you in Shelby Oaks are not really the things you're meant to be scared of all that often. Like at one point, the last of the jump scares I deployed there is actually a dog that leads her to the location she needs to go to. So it's not something she's supposed to be terrified of. But I thought it's an interesting qualifier, I guess, that you can make people jump in a horror movie. That is acceptable. It's just, where else does the horror come from? Is the horror just the fact that you go, whoa, in your seat? Or is the horror from the fact that, like, what is it making you think? What inferences are you drawing? What implications? Are you in the right mood? Has the rest of the movie done a good enough job to make you scared of the implications? And in those situations, I think Shelby Oaks falls by the standards he's just laid out. It doesn't do that. It doesn't direct them properly. And he's right, though, in his old form, like loads of horror movies do this all the time, and they're all shit for it. So it's a shame he didn't make a better one, really.
I'm curious, Platoon, do you have a go-to example in your head? Because I assume Fringy and Rags have the same one as me for a good jump scare.
We probably do have the same one as you.
Yeah, we have the same one, sure.
Well, because the one I want to cite once Platoon's had a shot is what I assume we all consider to be possibly the best jump scare in movies.
Very well might be.
I'll probably note when you mention it, I'm struggling to come up with an example off the top of my head.
No, fair. Well, have you seen, because I'm trying to remember, I'm just trying to rack my brain on whether or not you have, seen The Descent?
Yeah, yes, but not for a while.
The way they do the jump scare in that one is the most effective, to the point where I'd fucking seen the movie before and it got me on a future viewing of, like, you know, I guess you could say it's like, well, can't the regular shitty ones do that? And it's like, yes, true. But the reason why The Descent, I almost don't even want to talk about it, so I'm like, go watch it if you haven't. The Descent is such a good fucking film.
Descent is stellar.
It's just that they get you into the situation, and there's a particular vibe, and you know something is wrong, but you can't possibly know exactly what. And the very natural movement is happening, and something. It's the way I think I actually mentioned how natural jump scares can happen in The Dark Descent. I would rather maybe use that as an example, and then encourage everyone to go watch The Descent, where you're in. I think it's the choir. Or the choir hall or something, and it's a big room, loads of pillars, and it's quite misty. And there are 3, I think, or maybe 2 enemies lumbering around. And so if you're moving fast, you can very easily bump into them, and that like generates jump scares, but they're all on you. It's not the game forcing them arbitrarily.
Yeah, you've moved around, yeah.
So if you take yourself slowly and listen, which is eerie and tension-filled, right, is safer, but if you run, you'll give yourself a jump scare, which I find that to be much more creative and substantive. And yeah, The Descent, it has a fucking banger one in there. But it's rare. It is rare.
To the Thing, because it's got probably 2 that jump out as obviously the defibrillator scene and the blood test.
Oh, yeah.
Pop it out.
Or the chest burster in Alien, I guess, would be kind of similar. I mean, it was more of a jump scare for the cast.
I suppose so, yeah.
Still scary.
You're probably right. It's almost like we don't treat it like that because we now like fully understand what's happening and are prepared for it. But if you're watching it the first time, you know, like you don't like there's that big old alien popping out. It's like, oh shit, yeah.
I think part of it is why it almost feels offensive to refer to that as a jump scare as opposed to one of the greatest horror moments in all of cinema history.
Phrase.
Yeah.
It's so fucking shocking if you don't know it's coming.
Jump scare describes something in general that is bad.
Yeah, typically.
Like almost all the time.
Spooky Bilbo, it's a solid jump scare, yeah.
Spooky Bilbo's pretty good.
It's also a good example of the jump scare used properly as Stuckmann would describe it. It is you're being scared by the thing you are supposed to be scared of. So it's not just that Bilbo makes an arbitrary funny face. It's that like Bilbo suddenly becomes almost the thing that the ring is going to turn him into inevitably. Yeah. And it also tells Frodo that this is kind of in his future too, right? So like it's a jump scare because of its just mere technical deployment, but it's also like narratively substantive. It means something in a way that most jump scares just don't.
Oh yeah, I think that's fair too. The one in Signs where he sees the leg move into the cornfield. Like, because he's scanning around with the light and he just catches it moving in, and it's enough for everyone to recognize what just happened. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, but it's totally fair, I would say. It's
I think it's fair.
It's kind of like we should maybe do a thing on that sometime. Try to figure out the science of the jump scare, because there are some that are like really solid, and then there's just the vast majority, in fact, that are just awful.
Mm-hmm. Factor is marketing and audience expectation. A primary example I often reference is The Village, a film by frequently maligned director M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, speaking of science.
Okay. When did this video get made? Because when he says frequently maligned, I was about to say fairly maligned, and I was like, oh, well, then again, it depends. How many bad films have you made at this point?
Like 2014, he referenced, because or around about that time, because that movie he was talking about before, Babadook, that was 2014.
Right. Oh, yeah, okay.
So yeah, this would have been after Earth.
Oh, okay. No excuse. No excuse.
That one that he...
I was about to say after Lady in the Water, you've got no excuse. As in, like, you got to admit that he's bad. At least, I was about to say mixed bag, but I think after Lady in the Water, it's like no, mainly just Unbreakable and Sixth Sense.
People see that as the fluke generally at this point. I guess
it's incredible to watch it because it's like, wait, he made this, and you're like, yeah, that guy, the one who makes the flumpy weird films, loads of flumpy weird films. So The Happening, it sort of moves into like worth seeing because of how funny it is.
Give me a second. Why can't anybody give me a goddamn second?
Many view this as the film where Shyamalan began to lose his talent. But did he? Or
well, it was probably before that, actually.
Did our expectations...
Signs is...
There's good stuff in Signs, but there's loads of bad stuff in Signs.
It's flawed. It's flawed. Big time.
For the film we wanted to see let us down. The problem was the marketing. Something Shyamalan has...
I will say, past Stuckmann anyway, very unreliable strategy to be like, well, it's the audience's fault. The audience was wrong. It's like, I mean, even if that were true, what's the point of saying it? It's not going to help you, when it comes to making movies. You can't... If the audience reacts negatively, it's like, well, you're all wrong. It's like, I mean, cool, man, but you're still losing money here, so it doesn't change anything. You're not going to be able to convince the entire world to react to movies in the way that you want them to.
It's always going to be...
you want them to is better.
It's what we advocate for a lot of the time, right? So the thing that audiences get out of, let's say, the most junk horror movie there is, or something like Godzilla vs. Kong or X-Kong, like whatever they get out of these films, like Transformers, like, can we maintain that thing, but also have a good movie? Can we do that? Like what they get out of the jump scares, like can we move that, whatever that feeling is and that experience, can we get that in a good movie? Can we get a compromise here where we satisfy those interests from the audience, but also create something that's really worthwhile? It's like, maybe.
That is, and it's sort of where Stuckmann is leading as well. As that it might be that the audience is wrong, but it's that they are made to be wrong because of these things that other people, filmmakers and studios do. Like it's the over-reliance of horror filmmakers on jump scares that tricks the audience into thinking this is what horror is. It's the fault of the studio for advertising the film in one way and actually presenting the film in a different way that gives false expectations, and that makes the audience wrong. So the audience is swayable by the techniques used by filmmakers and the people who back them, and he wants those things to change because he wants horror fans to change, essentially. Give them better and they will expect better, which is, I think, a serviceable point, right?
Yeah. Well, because I was just thinking, it's kind of rough, right? Like I'm interested in trying to find the solutions, if you will, for how can we maintain the box office stimulation to keep the stories and the work going, but also not lose all of the really meaningful and substantive stuff. And it's like, so take, for example, The Thing. It's like, all right, so you got to change it to make it box office viable. I'd be like, I don't want to change anything. What do you mean? Like, just like, okay, well, you can change something about Blade Runner to make it more viable. You're like, I don't want to do that. It's like, well, I guess, because you sort of worry, right? It's like, what would they look like if you made the changes to them that made them viable in the box office? I don't know if they would be themselves anymore.
Since regretted approving. The trailers made the movie out to be a creature feature, when in reality it was a period piece romance.
Shelbyokes initially presented itself as a pseudo-documentary about the disappearance of YouTuber Riley Brennan and 3 of her murdered paranormal investigator friends, utilizing their found footage to construct an account of what happened. However, the big reveal, one that DHR had to keep quiet at the time of the Fantasia premiere, was that it broke free of this format at the 17-minute mark in order to tell a more traditional narrative. Stuckmann had hoped to keep this secret intact until the actual theatrical release, but the powers that be in Neon's highly acclaimed marketing department preferred otherwise.
I've made
interesting.
That's an interesting way to say it. It broke free. It broke free of that structure.
It did, which is questionable, and obviously we can talk more about that when we get onto the film itself. But I thought it was interesting and threw that in there because, once again, Stuckmann has done the opposite of the thing that he recommends people do in the video that we're covering at the moment. So, taken all together, there's not enough imagination in modern horror. Well, I think he's probably guilty of that himself. over-reliance on jump scares in modern horror. He's definitely guilty of that himself.
Yeah.
Too much temptation to show the monster at the end because of cheap payoffs. He does that. And he doesn't like that sometimes adverts will give the wrong impression about a movie. He thinks that the advert should show you the movie as it actually is. And yet for Shelby Oaks, he wanted the advert to show you something that the movie was not. So in every single point that he's made, and these are the only points he actually makes over the entire video, he contradicts them in the course of making his own movie. Again, not impossible that he's changed his mind. It's just that evidently the result hasn't been great.
Yeah, like either he didn't change his mind and he just really messed up, or he did change his mind and he's just a worse filmmaker and viewer of art for it. Either way, it's kind of a lose-lose.
It is, because in this example, in this video, he blames studios for mismarketing movies. In this example, though, it was Neon who actually made him do the thing that he says that studios don't do for horror movies, which it would just be interesting to compare, sit him down and have him watch this old video and then ask him if he does actually still believe in any of these things.
Yeah. You could kidnap someone and force them to answer questions.
To implore people to reevaluate what good horror is. I'm concerned by the rising trends I see with today's moviegoers, and if you are too, please share this video in the hopes that we can generate awareness.
If you're as worried as I am, please make sure that this video gets more views.
I was going to say, like, whether or not I agree with you, I don't think the video being successful is going to make much of a difference. I think, probably find a different way to...
It's kind of a silly prospect there.
It's potentially, yes, but the idea behind it is an interesting one, because what he's essentially advocating for here is that he's made a video which is going around being quite critical of various modern movies, modern studios, modern devices, modern trends. He wants more people to be aware of these things because he thinks that by criticizing them, maybe there is a hope that he will change the industry for the better. Criticism, in other words, makes movies better. That's what he's saying. That's why he made the video. He's about to go on to say that that's not what happens. So again, sit him down and make him watch the old one and ask him what went wrong.
Awareness for this disturbing pattern that's infecting the horror genre.
I want to say immediately right off the bat from the beginning, my channel's not going anywhere. I'm not going to stop making videos. I'm still going to make videos. They're just going to be kind of different, and they're not going to be the same as they were before. I think it would be strange for me to say, I hope you guys see my new film out on October 23rd. Also, Tom and Jerry is really bad. Like, that would be weird. You know what I mean? Like, that wouldn't make any fucking sense. It would
just not be advantageous for you, is what that is. Makes perfect sense. You can say that. You're more than free to say that, but you don't want to burn bridges, which is fine, but just say that.
This business works. And that's one of the things that I really want to do in the future on this channel. I want to talk very specifically about how to get a film off the ground and actually get into the nitty-gritty of the details, because I didn't realize how important it was for me to really learn how to write scripts. It just...
So here's a little cut there. Obviously, I don't know that he has yet learned how important it is that he writes scripts, because we're going to talk about Shelby Oaks presently. But yeah, it's... I did also go back through a lot of... I mean, I've watched a bunch of his videos in preparation for all of this. Generally speaking, I encourage people against just scrolling down, looking at video titles and thumbnails and trying to get a sense of what a channel's about, because, obviously you are going to be missing a bunch of stuff if you do that. But I did take a look just through his recent productions, going back basically 2 or 3 years at this point, almost since he made this video. He says that he's not going to do negative reviews anymore, for reasons he'll come on to. He wants to talk way more positively about specifically how you make movies, what's important in the process of making movies, how you get movies made, how you get access, how you make connections, and all the rest of that stuff. He hasn't... I mean, I'm not the biggest Stuckmann watcher. Maybe I'm wrong, and I'm happy to be corrected. I don't think he has actually spent very much time making videos like that. The Shelby Oaks stuff, there's a bunch of behind the scenes. I think there's 6 short behind the scenes videos on YouTube, which are like 5-minute long versions of stuff you had to have backed the Kickstarter to watch the full thing of. They don't really tell you much about the movie making process or how he actually got into the position to make the movie to begin with. So I would be interested in that side of Stuckmann, because he's got this experience. That would be really useful, and that's something he could add to his channel most definitely. But he says he's going to stop doing bad reviews in order to do this instead. And as far as I can see, he mostly hasn't done that. He's just stopped doing bad reviews and given like these most vague boilerplate good reviews of everything that's come out and learned nothing. We learned nothing from them either.
Him and Cinema would get along swimmingly.
I'm sure they would. Yeah.
He's done...
his recent videos, and it is, like you said, it's mainly just movie reviews, presumably about movies that he wants to speak positively about, which then, brings one's mind to the notable films that have released that are omitted from this list of films that he's watched. But there aren't many. Or maybe he would say, well, yeah, but I want to talk about that sort of stuff through those videos. But I mean, I don't know, man. That Superman video was pretty recently, and he didn't really talk about how to make a movie while reviewing that movie.
Well, we just saw the Haunting of Hill House one earlier in this little video montage. Didn't really say anything. Well, he didn't say anything at all about any aspect of that. He didn't say anything about the Predator Badlands movie beyond the characters are in it and they go to a place and they change. I don't know that Stuckmann ever talks about the process of getting good movies to be good. He just tells you that they are.
He's got a few filmmaking journey videos that I've seen, but I don't remember much detail in those. Maybe he's like preparing it and it's coming, some kind of like series of videos. I don't know.
He's been preparing it because if this was for Madam Web, we're talking nearly 2 years ago.
Let the man cook.
It's gonna be great.
Sure. I'll let him cook.
In theory, though, this could be really good. In theory, the kind of person that Chris Stuckmann could be, or the idea, the man who's super passionate about making films, wants to stay positive, and the kinds of stuff he has to say about them, and the behind the scenes of them, the production aspect, the meta aspect. In theory, this could be a really insightful channel.
Mm-hmm.
But then you kind of wonder, where is all that stuff, though?
Much harder.
And this was 4 years ago. This video. So.
Okay. So he's really cooking then. Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Hope he doesn't burn it.
Anticipated, which is one of the things I really want to talk about in the future on this channel. I want to be very clear and very open about how to do all of that. Things like making a mood board, writing a good log line. How long should your script be? How short can your script be? When should the act breaks happen? Should you even give a shit about the rules?
It's all boring fucking film writing advice shit. It's save the cat shit.
But it would actually
you tell me why a good film
it would
is good.
still be an improvement over the content you actually get from him and his videos.
That's true.
It reminds me of something like, how many times should your hero do a heroic thing? You just be like, why are you asking? That's not the right question, like, for the story at all. It's just like, those should be results of that should be consequence of like the more important elements, right?
Like, really, it feels like almost like, why are we doing this? Why are we even why are we telling stories in the first place?
So weird, because
what are you interested in exploring?
I feel like we would get accused of that kind of science breakdown of film when we've come across so many people doing these sorts of things that every time we're just like, stop. You know, the whole insight and incident within the first 17% or 11%, whatever it was.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff. The character needs to go, your main character has to have an arc.
They have to be active. They have to push the plot.
3-act structure. That's what you need to be doing. Hero's journey, all that stuff. It's just like really.
Well, so if because someone in chat has just mentioned it, but if I said to you guys, like, how many jump scares should I have in my horror film? I feel like all of us would just be like, that's not the question to ask.
What kind of question is that? Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Chris would probably be like, oh, you don't want more than 4, and you want more than 1. You'd be like, huh?
Yeah. And that's like, why? Oh, well, generally, this is what people like. Oh, generally. I don't even know if that's true. And number 2, generally means it ain't a rule, so don't break free from your rules.
I mean, so many of the best films of all time don't adhere to rules necessarily.
Yeah, break the rules. For sure.
I say as many as logically, as humanly possible. As many jump scares as you could possibly squeeze in there. Every single one. Yes, one a minute. That's my rule. That's the jump scare rule. Always
flashes,
keep them jumping. Always keep those ears flashing. All right?
Hell yeah.
Never stop flashing. PM.
How to get a manager. How to get an agent. Those types of things.
I mean, that's more important, yeah.
Not enough people are talking about. Those are the types of things I would love to make videos about.
Cool.
As far as...
Then just do it.
Do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. You got a channel and money. Do it.
Do it.
Don't let your dreams be memes.
That's right.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow.
Don't let your Stuckmanized.
Still going to talk
my
about
favorite
movies.
part. I'm sorry. My favorite part of that Shy, whatever his name is right at the end of it, after he's done all of the everything he's talking about. He, for some reason, he does the gesture again. Like he does the gesture where he brings his hands down and sort of just rests them like in front of his
it's a
torso
good gesture. It's
for
a good
no
one.
reason.
Yeah.
He doesn't. I don't know why he doesn't, but the fact that he does it without saying anything might be the funniest part of that whole video.
Just do it.
About movies. What I'm not going to do anymore is trash filmmakers.
No.
And I know that for some people that's going to be a disappointment. And I also know that that will probably cost me some views. But I just don't enjoy it anymore. I don't enjoy talking negatively about film.
So the problem is
that's a different thing. You mentioned two different things. Trashing filmmakers and talking negatively about film, they are not the same thing. But he just like lumped them together as if they are inextricably linked.
And then, of course, saying that he doesn't enjoy it anymore. It's just like he doesn't seem to enjoy talking about film anymore, dude.
No, that was going to be, that's what I was going to say. If you again, compare the stuff we watched from the beginning of this little montage when he was criticizing film and having a huge amount of fun, to now watching his recent videos where he does he does the thing he says he likes doing, he doesn't seem to be having more fun than doing the stuff that he doesn't like doing. He seems to be having much less fun now. It's just, well, I had to get this video out. So I know you've all seen Hill House at this point, but I liked it. Bye.
Yeah.
Makers, talking to them at festivals, going onto their sets, really seeing how much work goes into even your average, not so great movie.
So the thing is, Chris, I would have thought that you knew all of this because you were so familiar with behind the scenes stuff in movies.
It's funny bringing up iDubbbz. This is like the Stuckmann equivalent of that. You know, I turned 30 and I realized making movies is hard.
It's bizarre because he's better poised than a lot of people to know before he even made his film that filmmaking is hard. Yeah.
Surely he watched enough behind, like, you don't even need to go on the set. Surely you watched enough behind the scenes stuff. You're like, oh shit, yeah, that would have been really difficult. Damn, you had to do that many takes? Fucking hell. That must have been hard. Wow, you only had like one chance to get this shot? Oh, gee. Oh, this was like the weather conditions where you had to go to this location to shoot this film? Like, how did you only realize it when you visited a set for the first time that making a movie is hard? I don't even feel like you need to watch behind the scenes stuff to know that it's hard. It should be pretty obvious that it's hard to make a movie.
Yeah, but if it wasn't, he has no excuse. As in, like, if he couldn't gather it from just watching a film of what people would have to do to make this thing happen, he's had like voices of the people who make it tell him directly it's hard and that things go wrong and that they have to do this and that. It's like, how is it that it was going on to a set that managed to give you that impression? That's so strange. And I don't know that he would be able to reconcile this. I think he would have to concede. He's like, well, no, yeah, I knew it was hard before then. I'd be like, is it more so that you now, you don't want to shit on him because you met them in person and it makes you feel uncomfortable or you could lose connections? Is that why?
I mean, that would be my guess. The best faith interpretation is that it's one thing to understand abstractly how much hard work goes in, and then it's another thing to experience how much hard work goes in. And once you've experienced it, it changes your perspective. That would be... I mean, I'd believe it if he told me that. It isn't quite what he says. But I also get slightly annoyed by this idea that, well, look how many people have worked so really very, very hard putting your script into production. Look how difficult it was, how much money was spent, how many hours were lost. Like, look at all these people earning their living. This is their trade, it's their job, it's their livelihood. And they are doing something that you've written for them. They are only doing it because of something you've written for them. To my mind, that makes it more important, not less, that you are criticizing and critical of and engage critically with scripts, in particular scripts, because it is, on the one hand, the cheapest part of production, but it's also the thing which really does determine, probably more than any other single aspect, whether the thing you're making is going to work. So all of this stuff, all of the hard work he's correctly identifying goes into movies, that's all coming from the script he's written for them. If he can't be bothered to do that, or if he doesn't understand what makes a good script, and if he doesn't engage critically with what other scripts have done to learn better about them or to teach other people what a good script is versus a bad script, he's actually increasing the chances, by his own previous argument, that many movies are going to be made and many people are going to work really hard for basically nothing because the thing they're creating is shit.
I just don't feel like doing that anymore. I don't want to talk negatively about filmmakers. I don't want to trash filmmakers. When you see a bad...
Well, I do enjoy the words that he's using though. Trashing filmmakers, like, well, that's a you problem, my man.
Or
you can moderate it down. You can strip it of any venom and just make it like just pure criticism.
But then to challenge him, be like, is there ever a time we should trash a filmmaker ever? Could they do something unethical? What if they abused their actors? Like, then we trash them then.
And surely it would be. Then surely there would be something of a moral imperative to criticize them.
I would have thought, but obviously, as you said, like you can trash a film without even mentioning who made it. So, it's just it's a really strange. It's like everyone's very clearly understood something else is going on here. You just don't want to say it, but
which is just way more obvious, which is you don't want to burn bridges. But the problem is, again, if you just said that, people would have less respect for it. Of course they would.
Sometimes, if you're a film critic, and I can tell you this from experience, you get kind of excited because you realize, I could really make a good review of this, and I could really talk about all the problems with this and just really let them know how shitty they did.
Well, no, it's letting us the audience know that this is something to be avoided, right?
I think there is absolutely nothing wrong with seeing something that's so bad that you're like, oh, I could make something really entertaining while also informative.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, if anything, that's kind of your, in a sense, that's sort of your responsibility as a film reviewer on the internet to tell the audience this stuff.
He's got a guy in a dungeon rubbing his hands together like, yes, good. Like that bug in Family Guy. Just salivating at the opportunity to tear this film to shreds.
Some weird perspective. It feels it kind of lines up with this whole, he doesn't think much of his profession and nor his peers in YouTube.
No, he doesn't. He thinks that film criticism is essentially what he does and what Roger Ebert, turn on the camera or just write a little blurb and then that's it. You're done. It's just kind of this disposable shit.
Yeah. I also think that he just generally thinks less of it. I didn't include all of it in this montage, but there's a lead-in part where he says that he's always wanted to be a filmmaker all the time. There's always it's what he's only ever wanted to do, etc., etc. He started doing YouTube, and he never anticipated the success he was going to have. And in a weird way, it kind of suppressed the urge inside him for quite a long time. It stopped him from doing the thing he was really meant to do. And then inevitably, it couldn't do it forever, and he rediscovered his need to make movies, and then he transcended the realm of film criticism and YouTube in general to go on and do the thing he was always destined to do. Which I think there's probably a value judgment entailed in all of that. I don't think that he thinks film criticism is as valuable as making films. I don't particularly think he thinks doing it on YouTube is as valuable as doing it in the way that Roger Ebert did.
Yeah.
Which is fine for him to have that order of priorities. All good. But I would probably take it more seriously if somebody who did value it told me there was no worth in it than in somebody who never valued it telling me that he outgrew it.
Yeah.
Find no joy in that anymore. I just don't. A few years back, I stopped doing my worst of the year videos for that same reason. And ever since then, I've had a tough time enjoying negativity about film because I love film so much and I want to be a champion for film.
But you're not by doing that, though. You removed yourself from the potential of being a champion for film by removing a whole half of the process. You can raise films up, but you've got to bring down the ones that are doing everything wrong for both the studio, the creators, and the audience. Yeah, if you raise everything, then it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, and nobody learns anything as well, especially if you're going to carry on making videos because you want to teach people about what making a good film is. That entails that you at least understand what making a bad film is. And it can be incredibly helpful if other people learn more from you about what not to do in their scripts, because many writing mistakes are shockingly basic, and you can train them out of people very quickly by just pointing out examples of where they're done and why they don't work. And then people will go to their own scripts later and think, oh shit, yeah, I almost just did that. Luckily, though, I watched that video, so I'm not going to do that.
And it's also just worth noting, if you are making a film, you're going to be doing film criticism anyway, because you're going to be criticizing your own script. It's
Correct.
the same practice.
As well as all the people on set.
That is certainly the hope, right? And you'd
That's
be
the hope.
shocked and disappointed to learn in a movie that when you got particularly outside oversight from, like, let's say, a studio like Neon got involved and attached a person like Flanagan to a movie that you were making, and he brought his entire team from his production company over, and they gave extensive notes. You would be disappointed to learn that, like, at least the only published notes anyway, were saying, the beginning was kind of cool. And that's basically it. Like, that's not going to be very helpful. Most of the evidence when you get round to Shelby Oaks that input was given is all in the technical side, which is not, trying to dismiss that at all. But there's a reason it looks professional for the most part. Looks the way it does, sound good. That's all fine. And I can fully believe that on set, he had a bunch of people who had experience in the industry who were able to give him notes and direction and help him make the thing he wanted to make. That's fine. The one area of the movie where it looks like absolutely no input was given at all is the script. And that shows,
the story of the film. But I mean, technically, as you were saying, it meets like the minimum level of what's kind of just like expected and acceptable. It's like, yeah, this looks like a how a movie should probably look for the most part. There's nothing to say about it that's particularly interesting. It's just like, yeah, I was never distracted by how it looked. Technically acceptable, sure. So all of that to just make a movie that looked fine.
I mean, I'm also just like, it kind of go past it because you're just thinking about all the ways it doesn't make sense, but it's just like, you just announce yourself as becoming a champion of filmmaking. It's kind of lame. Like, all right.
He who must say he is a champion of filmmaking is no champion of filmmaking.
And he certainly isn't. He's wiped out a whole portion that makes him kind of, being told by him.
A movie.
Being told by him you've done something right, you'd be like, oh, cool. What have I done wrong? You'd be like, oh, I can't tell you. Just like, okay, well, not really that helpful, actually. And I guess he is still making a top 10 or whatever worst films of the year. You just have to look at the ones he doesn't cover.
Mm-hmm.
They're all the worst ones.
So I am going to distance myself from film criticism and embrace film appreciation.
I hate that dichotomy. Holy shit.
I love that dichotomy there. That's amazing.
You can't be appreciating film if you're criticizing it. It's like, isn't that the whole idea, that you've seen something done better or you know how it can be done better, and so you're pointing out how they've done it worse? Isn't that how it works? Why don't we go back to Lord of the Rings all the fucking time? It's like, hey, why can't you be more like this? Like, where it's way better. The whole idea is appreciating those films. Whenever you shitting on something, it's usually on a scale in which exists something that did it better, therefore you're appreciating that. I just don't... It's so lame, man.
Happy Halloween.
Just a fundamentally basic observation to say that, let's say you're given a first draft, and you can go through that and you can identify a bunch of ways that would improve that first draft immeasurably. It's actually quite hard to deliver that information without talking at all about what's gone wrong in the first draft that you're then improving. You could say, okay, this thing that happens here, I think it would be better construed if you moved it to here and then you added this setup beat, and then you can make this payoff more impactful. If the person who wrote the first draft turns around and says, okay, I could do that, why? How do you explain the changes without talking about the deficiencies of the first draft? I'm not sure. Maybe it's my own deficiency that I can't think of a way really to do that. But even if you focus all you couch it all in positive language, it's all built on a criticism, which is that your first draft did this thing wrong. And you can just be more honest about that, and it will be more speedy and efficient if you say that and say, and this is how you can then make it better. And especially, again, champion of filmmaking here, who's now gone on and made his own movie, employed a bunch of people, cost a lot of money, studio gave him lots of money. You're responsible for this. I understand it's a huge amount of pressure. Like, every time, if I'm sitting down to write a script for Judas, for example, the worst and most horrible thing about it is knowing that if I don't do a very good job here, an entire studio's worth of work will turn out to be crap, because it might look great, it might sound great, it might play great, but the story will make no sense. And that's all my fault. It's horrible. But then that makes it more important that you're able to look at what you're writing and what other people are writing and say, this isn't good enough. This needs to be changed for this, and that needs to be changed for that. It's just like film appreciation, uplifting film entails criticism.